Hey there, paper geeks and glitter nerds, it's Senna the Crazy Geek Crafter, and this week I am doing a nerdy card, the best kinds of card. Now, I made cards for this particular person before. Like me, she's a Star Wars fan, and I wanted something that was cheeky and a big statement. I'm gonna make a galaxy background on this Strathmore Bristol smooth paper, and then I have designed on my Scan'n'Cut a sentiment, a huge sentiment, for the entire card. Doesn't this look awful? I kept reminding myself that when you make galaxy backgrounds to begin with, they all look really bad. It's only at the very end that you can see that it's ingenious. So now I'm splattering first with water, and then I'm gonna move on to some other products. I haven't made one of these in years, so I had to play around with what works. This one is a distressed stain in Picket Fence. I expected it to be splatterable as it is, but I needed to water it down actually before I could get any movement with it. So, here we go. And to begin with, this looks nice. It works. But when it dries, the white disappears. So I was a bit disappointed. But luckily, in my drawer, I have an alternative to this. So I bring in white acrylic paint, and I'm gonna have to water this one down to get it to splatter, but once I do, it actually works very nicely. But it needs a lot of water. And I finally get enough water in this for it to actually drip, but I make a huge mistake and splatter directly on my panel to start with and get this huge dot. I can't do anything about it, but I do remember every time I've been back in the paint, I splatter off to the side first, and then I move over the panel. I was unfortunately not able to splatter with gold or silver or anything. I don't have any of those paints. I do hope to get some at a a point in life, but as for now, I'll have to just stay with the whites. Now here's my sentiment that I made with my scan and cut. I have to peel it off the mat, and then we have to put foam tape on it, and so on and so forth. This was a very long process. It was actually the most painful card I have made in a while, but it is all worth it for the love of Star Wars, that is. I have this font in my computer. I don't know who made it. I don't know when I got it. I can't even remember the name of it. But there are fonts out there that you can get and use for these kind of things. You just have to remember that they are not copyrighted, so you can't make anything for sale with them. I'm making this for a friend of a friend. And I just love making nerdy cards, so I jump at every chance. I don't really care. I'm not selling this card or anything. So therefore, I don't see the problem with using this font. But if you want to sell it, I can't stress it enough. You have to find out how the copywriting works on these things. And I don't know the answer. Now, all the foam tape is in place, and I have to figure out how to get this on the card without it being crooked or uncentered or anything else that can screw up with my layout. So I'm gonna use the rectangle I cut this out of and just put everything back so that I can easily place it on the card. I'm gonna trim down the yellow panel so that it fits on my card front, so that I get the placement just right. Because if it's crooked, it's just not gonna have the right impact. So here I am measuring how much I need to take off in the middle. Of course, I'm gonna mark that out with a little cutout, making things easier for myself, hopefully. And voila, here we are. Just this tiny piece off, and then it's straight. It's beautiful, and I love it. Only thing I don't love is the missing sparkles. So I'm trying out a few metallic pens, seeing which one will be best for dotting, and it was the gold one. I do prefer silver myself, but gold is a good alternative. So I'm just gonna dot it all over, and then I can mount this panel onto the card. The card base is black, but I'm gonna put a white piece inside for the giver to write her message on. I did not film that part. I didn't think it was necessary, so I hope you can imagine the white piece of cardstock that's on the inside. Now you can't get everything right all the time, so I'm trying to cut off the excess here, and I cut it crooked. So here I'm kind of in a panic because I've ruined the card, but I figured I'm just gonna have to scrap it and make a new card base. So I cut around it as close to the foam tape as I can, so that I can mount it on a new card base, which I'm gonna make here with this 220 grams black cardstock from Søstrene Grene. Yeah, shit happens. I wanted to leave it in so you see that I can make mistakes too. All better. Now isn't this a wonderfully great, geeky, nerdy card? I love it. And I think the recipient will love it. I don't know yet, but I do think so. And until next time, I hope you'll be having a good day, evening, or night.